Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video. My name is Steven and today we are going to be going over the best and worst spells in Clash Royale as of September 18th, 2017. Now before I start the video, there are a few things that I would like to say. Number one, I do have a Discord server, so if you guys do want a chance to talk to me and to just hang out with a bunch of other Clash Royale players, be sure to click the Discord link in the description down below. It'll also be in the comment section. It'll basically take you to my server. If you haven't downloaded the app, go ahead and download it. I definitely recommend it. It's a really great messaging app. And next, we also have the ranking system. So how am I going to rank these cards? Well, basically, I'm going to put them into three categories. There is going to be a good category, which is the top meta cards that would be really viable. Next, we have the okay category, a card that can still be used to climb ladders. And it's not that overpowered, it's not that underpowered either. And finally, we have the meme category, all the garbage cards that can't be used to win at all are placed in this category. So if you do want to climb the ladders, be sure to take these cards out of your deck if you do see a card in your deck being placed in the meme category. Keep in mind, guys, these ratings and categories are based off of win rates and use rates in Arena 11. We all know you're that level 10 who's still stuck in Frozen Peak that loves to use elite barbarians, but you see them getting placed into the meme category. Now, don't go in the comment section getting all butthurt typing, but Steven, the elite barbarians are so OP, oh my god, fuck you. Unless you're in Arena 11, please don't go into the comment section lecturing us about what cards are good and what cards are not. Now, I know that's pretty ironic because I am in Pekka's Playhouse right now, but rest assured, my season record is top 13k global. I'm a 4k player. I'm just trophy dropping to have some fun, but I still know what cards are meta, what cards are viable, and what cards are not. So if you guys do want to learn how to play the game, if you do want to make a good deck, be sure to stick around so you know what spells you should and should not use. First up, we have the Zap. It has a 38% use rate in Arena 11. It's definitely a really viable, great meta card right now, and I would recommend it and rank it in the good category. Next up, we have the Fireball, a really viable meta card coming in with about a 26% use rate in Arena 11. It is a card unlocked early on, and it provides excellent damage and splash for taking out swarms of troops. I would definitely put this into the good category. Next up, we have the Log, a 2 elixir card, provides crowd control and does an excellent amount of damage to swarm troops, even able to take out a princess by itself. I definitely would recommend this legendary spell, and I rank it as a good tier. Next up, we have the arrows. Now, a lot of people use zap bait decks, so it makes sense for people to have zaps, fireballs, and arrows in the same deck, and the arrows are going to be coming at a 24% use rate, a really viable meta card right now, especially because of the skeleton armies and minion hordes, just a bunch of swarm troops that are pretty strong right now. So I definitely would recommend the arrows, and I rank it into the good tier. Next up, we have the Goblin Barrel. It's a pretty strong card right now, especially because the Zap did get a nerf, and the Zap was one of the best counters to the Goblin Barrel, being able to one-shot the goblins that do come out of the barrel, but now the Zap isn't able to one-shot the goblins, which just makes the Goblin Barrel too strong of a threat to deal with. You either have to log it or drop arrows on it, which most of the time you can easily bait out with some minions or a minion horde. So I definitely would recommend the Goblin Barrel, and I place it in the good category. Next, we got the Rage Spell, the receiver of buffs. Now, the Rage Spell did start off as a 4 elixir card, but ended up getting cut down to 2 elixir as of right now. And the Rage Spell, it's not that powerful of a meta card, but it still can be used in some decks like the Balloon decks, or maybe you're using Elite Barbarians and you want the Rage Spell. It's definitely really great for hard push decks and for basically decks where you have a bunch of fast troops. You can get them to the tower even faster just to take that early 1 crown. But it's not great for all decks in the current meta, so I rank this card in the okay category. Next, we got the Tornado card. Now, to be honest, it's not that bad of a card. It can still be used in some decks, but at the top meta, you would really have better options like the Zap or Log instead of the Tornado. And the Tornado, it's a really strong card in 2v2, but not that strong in the 1v1 ladder matches. So I would place it somewhere between the edge of the OK category and the top of the meme category, because compared to the other meme cards, the Tornado would probably be a really strong card, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place the Tornado in the OK category. Next up, we have the Rocket, a high risk, high reward card costing 6 elixir. I gotta say, it's a pretty bold play if you do want to cast a Rocket. It's either when your opponent doesn't have any elixir or you're just going for a gamble. Still, it can be pretty powerful in some situations, so I'm just gonna leave the Rocket in the OK category. Next up, we got the Lightning Spell. Now, the Lightning Spell is a pretty good card right now because the Wizard, the Witch, the Night Witch, they're all really great targets for the Lightning Spell, and you can get some really great elixir value out of that as well. It gets its job done. It's not like the Rocket where you drop it, you pretty much waste 6 elixir. You can get really good positive elixir trades out of the Lightning Spell, and it's not a top tier meta. Just gotta say that, like, it's not at the top of the meta. Not that many ranked ladder players in the top 200 use it, so I'm gonna have to put it at the OK category, but just keep in mind that it is a pretty strong card. It's just sitting at the top of the OK category right now. Next in line, we got the Mirror card. Now, there's not that much to say about this card, except that it is a meme category card. It's definitely not recommended for trophy pushing. It has like a 45% win rate compared to most of the meta cards that do have an above 50% win rate. So I definitely would not recommend this card if you were pushing in ranked. If you do want to cheese some people and you're like trophy dropping, go for it. Put the Mirror in your deck, but like, I don't see much use for the Mirror. If you want to have like 2 spells in your deck, there's lots of cards that are better. Like, don't put a Mirror in your deck if you want like 2 arrows. Just put a Zap or a Log if you have it. But yeah, this card is just gonna go straight into the meme category. Next up, we have the Clone Spell. It's a really great 2v2 card, but in like solo ranked ladder play, it's just gonna be complete garbage. Like, if Supercell buffs it, it's gonna become too strong, and right now it's just gonna be a garbage card just like the Mirror. So I'm gonna be placing the Clone Spell in the meme category. Next up, we got the Poison Spell. It's pretty much a weaker version of the Fireball. They do about the same amount of damage, but the Poison Spell just does it like way slower. It has a bigger radius though, but I wouldn't recommend it over the Fireball. It would be sitting at a meme category if people weren't using minor poison, and it's actually a pretty strong strategy, to be honest. So the Poison Spell is going to be ranked into the OK category. Next up, we have the Graveyard Spell. Now, this 5 elixir legendary spell was nerfed in the last few balance updates, but it's still a fairly okay card if you pair it well. You gotta just catch your opponent off guard. And the only drawback of this card is that when your opponent's King Tower is activated and you have a graveyard deck, it becomes pretty hard to take the other towers with this card because you have the King Tower helping you take out these skeletons. So I wouldn't recommend this card if you're going for those 3 crown wins, but if you're trying to quickly push up the ladder, go for it. Make a graveyard deck. Just keep in mind this card wasn't as strong as it used to be before, back when it was pretty meta. Now it's kind of an okay card, so obviously I'm going to go ahead and put the graveyard in the okay category. Next, we have the Freeze Spell. Now, the Freeze Spell, it started out as a really meta card back when Clash Royale first released. It was part of the original 42 cards, and it was probably the earliest meta I've played in by far, because they had Hog Rider Freeze, and it was the most broken deck ever because the freeze had a much larger radius. It would freeze for a much longer time, and now it just has been nerfed to the ground in recent patches because there's no way you can like fully balance out the freeze spell. It's a pretty hard card to balance correctly because you either make it too strong or too weak, and as of right now, it's a pretty weak card overall, so I'm gonna have to put this in the meme category. And lastly, we have the heal spell. Now the heal spell came out as a 3 elixir card that healed troops for 3 seconds. Now I didn't consider this to be too overpowered when I first saw it. I mean, it was pretty balanced when it first was released, but I guess Supercell decided to nerf it later on, cutting the heal duration to 2.5 seconds from 3 seconds, and that hit the heal spell pretty hard. Like, it's one of the lowest used spells as of right now, and it just doesn't work in meta decks, so I'm gonna have to place the heal spell in the meme category. So guys, that is going to wrap it up, all the spell rankings as of right now. Just keep in mind that these could vary in the future depending on what balance changes Supercell does decide to implement. So if you guys did enjoy this video and can't wait for the troops and buildings one, be sure to leave a like down below. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with my latest uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next Clash Royale video. Peace.